Seyoum Mengesha KBE was an army commander and a member of the royal family of the Ethiopian Empire. Biography. Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha was born on June 24, 1886 in the town of Agormadia, in the province of Gojam, to his mother Wo-I-0 Kafai, daughter of Ras Wale Betal Abitatan, Viceroy of Tigray. His father Ras Mengesha Yohannes, the son of Emperor Yohannes IV of Ethiopia, from the royal house of Tigray. It is known that in his teenage years, Lul Ras Seyoum moved with his family from Gojam to Tigray. His father, Ras Mengesha Yohannes, was the natural son and heir of Emperor Yohannes IV. Because of his descent, Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha was a rival to Emperor Menelik II, who had risen from rule of Shela province to become the emperor upon Yohannes' death. Lul Ras Seyoum wed Wo-I-0 Telebek. Telebek was the daughter of Negus Mikhail of Walla and the sister of Elijah Iyasu. Mikhail was later honored with the title of Negus, and Iyasu was the uncrowned emperor of Ethiopia. Ras Seyoum fathered several children from various wives. With his first wife, Wo-I-0 Telebek, he had Luwulit Israel Seyoum, who herself married the crown prince. As for Wasin, by a previous marriage he had Wo-I-0 Hoi Kebdek Seyoum. By a subsequent marriage he had Lul Mengesha Seyoum. In the period 1928–1929, following a long and romantic courtship with Princess Atsida Asfodaj from the royal house of Sho, the couple married and remained devoted until Lul Ras Seyoum's death during the coup of 1960. From 1910 to 1935, Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha was the Shum of Western Tigray province. Traditionally, the governors of the provinces commanded the provincial spheri in battle. In the spring of 1924, Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha, Ras Halu Tekel Haymanot of Gojam province, Ras Malyajata Yegasu of Alubabor province, Ras Makonnen in Delkachu, and Blat and Getoha I Welder Seles accompanied Ras Tafari Makonnen of Shela province on his European tour. Tafari Makonnen was the crown prince and Enderes of Ethiopia and was not yet crowned as Emperor Haile Selassie I. The group of Ethiopian royalty visited Jerusalem, Cairo, Alexandria, Brussels, Amsterdam, Stockholm, London, Geneva, and Athens. With them they took 6 lions which were presented to various zoos and dignitaries. In the same year, Seyoum Mengesha was awarded the Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Commander of the Army of Tigray. From October 1935 to February 1936, as Ras during the Second Italo-Ethiopian War, Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha commanded the Army of Tigray. When General Emilio de Bono initially invaded Ethiopia, he was ordered to stay a day's march away from the advancing Italians. Lul Ras Seyoum and forces under his command played significant roles in the Ethiopian Christmas offensive, the First Battle of Tembian, and the Second Battle of Tembian. For 7 long months, Lul Ras Seyoum and his army from Tigray were the only force preventing the Italians from invading Ethiopia from Eritrea, and it was not until 1936, when the fighting moved to Matro, that the emperor sent reinforcements to assist Lul Ras Seyoum and his men. The subsequent failure of the Ethiopian forces to prevent the Italians from invading resulted in Lul Ras Seyoum and a small contingent of Ethiopian nobility being taken to Italy as prisoners of war. Lul Ras Seyoum, his wife Princess Atsida Asfor, and youngest child, son Dekuspach Mengesha Seyoum, were accompanied by close family members during the 2-year captivity as prisoners of war. Their Italian captors accorded the family decent treatment, and it was during this time that Lul Ras Seyoum and the Duke of Aosta developed a friendship that would later aid the return of Lul Ras Seyoum and his family to Ethiopia upon the appointment of the Duke as Viceroy to Ethiopia. Furthermore, his friendship relationship with the viceroy enabled Lul Ras Seyoum to play an influential role in securing the release of 3,000 Ethiopian PAS being held in Italian Somaliland, in the period leading to the Italian withdrawal from Ethiopia, when Britain had committed forces to assist Ethiopia to liberate herself from Italian occupation. Lul Ras Seyoum led an army of 70,000 from Tigray in the fight to free the northern provinces from Italian forces. In 1938, following the complete liberation of Ethiopia from Italian occupation, he returned to the capital Addis Ababa, where he was formally reappointed Tekle Geji of Tigray, and remained in Addis Ababa until 1941, when he was given leave to return to Tigray until the Oina Rebellion, which resulted in his return to the capital, Addis Ababa, where he resided under a form of house arrest. Italian occupation of Ethiopia. He spent much of his time under house arrest in Addis Ababa, Tigray province. Emperor Haile Selassie held Ras Seyoum in very deep regard and depended on him as a senior advisor. He was a member of the Crown Council from 1945 until his death. Oina Rebellion. In 1943, the Oina Rebellion broke out in southern and eastern Tigray province, and Ras Seyoum was suspected of supporting the rebels. As a consequence, he was recalled to Addis Ababa and replaced by Fitor Erik Eiffel Dadi and Dejazmach Fikre Selassie Ketema, as well as General Tedla Mekionen and General Isaias Gebre Selassie as the commander of the army in Tigray. In 1947, Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha was made Shum of Eastern Tigray as well as Western Tigray. This was because of the treason of the son of the late Ras Gugsa Araya Selassie, Dejazmach Haile Selassie Gugsa. In 1935, Haile Selassie Gugsa had defected to the Italians during the early days of the war. The Italians had made much propaganda use out of the fact that Haile Selassie Gugsa was the husband of Luzenibwerk Haile Selassie and therefore Haile Selassie's son-in-law. As a result, Ras Seyoum Mengesha was Shum of all Tigray province, which he held until 1960. Death in December 1960. The Imperial Guard launched a coup d'état and seized power in Ethiopia while the emperor was on a visit to Brazil. The coup leaders compelled the crown prince to read a prepared radio statement. In the statement, he accepted the crown in his father's place and announced a government of reform. However, the regular army and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church both refused to accept the new government. The leader of the church, Patriarch Abuna Basilios, issued an anathema against all those who cooperated with the coup leaders. The emperor returned to Ethiopia and the army stormed the palace where members of the government were being held prisoner by the imperial guards. The guards fled, but not before killing many members of the government and the nobility that had been held prisoner in the green salon of the palace. Lul Ras Seyoum was among those who were machine-gunned to death. He was 74 years old and was buried in Aksum. Aftermath. Lul Ras Mengesha Seyoum, as son and heir of the late Lul Ras Seyoum Mengesha, inherited his father's legacy in representing the Tigrian royal house of Yohannes IV. Lul Ras Mengesha has earned the respect and admiration of Emperor Haile Selassie as well as the thousands of people he feels privileged to have served as governor of various provinces and incumbent of several state posts. He was married to Emperor Haile Selassie's granddaughter, his late wife Princess Aida Diste, for over 60 years, and continues to support the development of his beloved nation-state. Honors. National Honors Grand Collar and Chain of the Order of Solomon. Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Seal of Solomon. Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Star of Ethiopia. Grand Officer of the Order of Melik II. Grand Officer of the Order of the Holy Trinity. Foreign Honours: Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Black Star, Knight Grand Cross of the Order of St. Gregory the Great, Knight Grand Cross of the Order of Adolf of Nassau, Commander Grand Cross of the Order of the Polar Star, Grand Cordon of the Order of Leopold, Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Redeemer, Grand Officer of the Order of the Legion of Honor.